Well, DW's Alexandra von Naumann is at the White House following developments for us. As we heard, President Trump has just spoken. What was his message?
Well, first of all, Clara, I need to tell you that this is a real surreal situation here. We are facing a very tense face-off between the demonstrators and the police here just a few blocks away from the White House, where the president was addressing the nation. But instead of talking about the problems or, let's say, the reasons for these protesters to be out in the streets, about police, instead of talking about police brutality, about racial disparities in the U.S., he was stressing how important it is to restore law and order, and he was also stressing that he is determined to deploy active U.S. military to do so. So this was obviously not the message that would be intent to unify the country and to address the concerns of the protesters here in Washington, D.C. and across the U.S.
Well, we see plenty of protesters there where you are, but D.C. is currently under a curfew that began at 7 p.m. your time. Does it look like it's taking any kind of effect?
That is true, and I talked to some protesters and they told me that it's important for them to be here to show their anger and the need for changes. Of course, they are also watching the situation. We already observed a few clashes between the protesters and the police. The police have decided, apparently, to clean the area. They are moving forward, as you can see right now. A few steps, then they stand, they move again. We saw flash bombs. We saw also a demonstrator who was standing just next to me was hit by rubber bullets. So the situation here with police using tear gas to disperse the crowd, it's really tense.
So we're seeing more tear gas and bullets in the nation's capital. Of course, these protests go to the heart of racial inequality in the U.S., and all this is taking place in an election year for Donald Trump. How do you think these protests are likely to affect his standing?
Well, we know that even his advisors within the White House administration are concerned that he's not striking the right tone, that he is not trying to unify the nation, to overcome all the difficulties right now and to address the concerns, as I said, of the demonstrators. So they are worried that he may be losing the support of two voter groups that are important for him, suburban women and independent voters. But he is, of course, stressing that law and order is what he is trying to get restored, to get re-elected.
Alexandra von Naumann covering that story from us from Washington, D.C. Thank you.